Graham, North Carolina is a town of roughly 20,000 people, and this year there are two candidates running for mayor. On one side is Chelsea Dickey, a local small business owner with a background in economic development and downtown revitalization. Chelsea is challenging the incumbent mayor, Jennifer Talley. Talley has been mayor since 2021, and there's a lot you need to know about her. For starters, she owns approximately 40% of downtown Graham. In recent years, many of her downtown properties have been granted historic status, meaning she pays little to no property taxes on them. Meanwhile, Graham's public schools continue to suffer from chronic underfunding. In fact, the situation got so bad that in 2023, toxic mold was discovered in the classrooms at Graham High School, sparking a major local scandal. But the concerns about Talley go even further. Residents report that she has installed cameras with audio all over downtown and selectively shares footage with the police. Others allege she removed audience seating from city council chambers, making it harder for the public to attend meetings and voice concerns. Some locals say they fear retaliation for criticizing her, and she has even been accused of using her authority to have nonviolent protesters detained by the city police. In February 2022, Talley and the city council voted to suspend the Special Events Committee, the group responsible for approving event permits. The move effectively froze downtown gatherings and festivals. Critics argue that Talley used the suspension to control which events could happen near her properties and to prevent demonstrations that might make her look bad. Talley is also using her official City of Graham email for campaign purposes, raising questions about ethics and potential violations of state law. Now, because Talley is using her city-issued email address, and that is by definition a public email address, we can read her emails. One email obtained through a public records request is especially interesting. Recently, a supporter wrote to Talley offering campaign strategy advice. In the email, the supporter notes that in 2021, Talley won by just 148 votes against an opponent who was largely unknown and ran a lackluster campaign. The supporter goes on to warn that if Chelsea Dickey, Talley's current opponent in the 2025 election, runs a strong, organized campaign, she's out, knocking on doors, hosting town halls, connecting directly with voters, if Chelsea does this, the supporter warns that Talley could very well lose. Evidence from past elections definitely supports these concerns. Even when Talley ran unopposed in 2023, she only got 88% of the vote. Roughly 12% of voters wrote in somebody else. That doesn't happen if you're popular. Now, Election Day is coming up fast, and while we have no idea how things are going to shake out in Graham, we do expect this race to be very, very close. In fact, it'll probably be decided by fewer than 100 votes. This is exactly why local elections matter. In towns like Graham, the mayor controls not just City Hall, but the town's reputation, access to public space, and even freedom of expression. The race for mayor of Graham is a great example of how who holds the keys can shape opportunity for an entire community or concentrated in the hands of a few well-connected insiders.